Hi everybody, today we are doing another Q&A, so let's get right into it. How are your wedding plans going? I know you're getting close. Things are great. All in my vlog channel. I just had my first bridal shower. I had the first one of two. So I did a special video over there, so if you don't follow that channel, I'll link it for you guys in a card. But please do follow that channel because a lot of wedding stuff is going on over there. But yeah, the first bridal shower. It was lovely. It was a kitchen theme. It was the smaller one of the two, and it was just really intimate and great friends, and it was just lovely. But yeah, we're about 6 weeks out now, so everything is great. I have my second bridal shower, which is a bridal tea that's a little bit more formal, on April 29th, April 28th, April 29th. So I'll definitely vlog that one as well. And I don't know, it's just great. Everything is falling into place. We're just crossing T's and dotting I's at this point. But yeah, I'm going to keep vlogging wedding stuff over there. And then for the actual wedding itself, I have a great videographer, great video team that's going to do a very, very special video that I don't have to worry about it. So I'll post that. I'll probably post the big wedding video on here for you guys so you can see that. It'll probably take a couple months to get that up. But yeah, everything is great. But do go to the second channel to see updates on wedding. How do dancers handle being sick, like having the flu, and how do you handle a partner who isn't compatible with you? Great question. First part, how do you handle having the flu? You kind of do it anyway. I remember there was a performance where I had a terrible migraine and I really have no recollection of doing it, but I did it anyway. Some dancers just kind of, in all honesty, throw up in the wing and then go on, and then throw up in the wing and go on. You just do it. You don't think about it. Unless it's really, 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 really awful, you kind of just get on with it. If somebody is sick, like with a nose or a throat thing, and it's your partner, you just wash your hands a lot, take a lot of vitamins. You just kind of do it. Dance is a profession where you can't really think about it. Having a partner that's not compatible with you. Thankfully, I never had that problem. I liked everybody I danced with, but there are some instances where they might have been dating and broke up and they still have to dance together. So you're dancing with your ex, you're dancing with somebody you don't like, you're dancing with somebody you have a history with. But it's also the same kind of thing. You just do it. You don't think about it. You can't think about it, because if you pitch a fit and refuse to dance with that person, then your company director goes, okay, I'll give it to somebody else, and you lose your part, So it's kind of a situation where you have to just be a grown-up and do it anyway. That's really kind of the best answer. You have to be professional about it. If you're going to be a baby about it and pitch a fit and all this kind of stuff, you probably shouldn't be a professional anyway. You just kind of have to be adult about it. I started ballet late at age 13, but I want to become professional. I have good technique at the bar, but when we move into jumps, I always get lost in the combinations and feel like I look awkward. Do you have any advice for how to learn fast jumps quickly and not look awkward while doing them? Great question. The key with fast jumps, and I think I said this in the ballet technique hacks video, land in the balls of your feet. The minute you go back to your heels, you're going to be back and it's going to be really difficult to move quickly. So land in the balls of your feet, stay forward. Think of like doing the whole combination slightly forward, and land in the balls of the feet, and that will help you move quickly. You can always, if you're struggling, if it's a really fast petit allegro combination, take out any beats, if it's like jeté battu or balané battu or something. If you can, do it without the beats. The best way to improve your jumps is to simplify. And once you really get that clean and you really feel like you have a handle on it, then you add the beats. Don't start with the beats and feel like you're going to sprain an ankle. So take it slow. Don't add the extra beats, even if other people around you are. It's better to do it cleanly, precisely, and be on the music than try and do something really, really complicated. If you're injured and you're coming back to do jumps, same thing. Do changements in the back, or just do plain jetés. Don't try and make it hard day one, because that's the way you improve your jumps, is clean and simplify, stay in the balls of your feet, and stay forward. Okay, a lot of you asked me about, I'm starting late, and I'm starting 13, 14, 15, and I really want to become a professional dancer. What advice do you have? All right, God's honest truth. You're going to have to work really hard. Yes, someone like Misty Copeland, for example, started late, but she's kind of an exception to the rule. She, you know, was very much a prodigy. So if you start late in ballet, it's doable. You can absolutely become a professional, truth, but you're going to have to work harder because you've got, you know, a lot of catching up to do that those of us who started at 2, 3, 4, 5, even 8, learned early. So the thing about it is you really have to be smart. You have to pay attention to every correction in class and apply it to yourself, whether it's directed at you or not. Be super hyper aware of your placement. Getting your leg up just for the sake of height, for example, is not going to help you. So be super aware of placement. If your leg can only go to 90 degrees to keep it in the right place, do it. Because if you build the proper muscles in the proper placement, you'll eventually get it up. But if you start cheating and you start kind of being sloppy, you're going to develop bad habits that you're going to have to break later. So it'll end up taking you longer. So just be really, really smart. Do extra things on the side, cross-training, Pilates, your feet exercises. I have several videos on here about feet and turnout and all those kind of things. So do those extra things. You know, if you really put the work in it and you really put your mind to it, you can accomplish it. I'm not saying you can't be a professional if you started late, but you will have a lot more catching up to do. So it's about being smart about it and about doing the extra work when you can. Now, you do have an advantage because most of us who did start early, 2, 3, 4, 5, we didn't get into serious actual ballet. I think I learned proper ballet technique at maybe 7, you know, maybe 6 or 7. Typically the age to start is about 8. Up until that point, it's running around, jumping over scarves and waving wands around, you know, as a little kid. So you really don't need those years. That's more about building musicality and just getting the movement quality. But so start reframing it in that you're not as behind as you think, because instead of feeling like, oh, I'm 10 years behind, you might be 5 years behind. So just be smart and do the extra work, and it will take a lot of extra work, but you can get there. What do you think of people who correct you or criticize you on your technique on Instagram and similar platforms? I find it much harder to accept that type of feedback. Fabulous, fabulous question. Nowadays with social media, everybody posting everything, you know, people are unguarded in their comments and they will more than likely and willingly offer you their thoughts. I would take it with a grain of salt, honestly. I would, if it's not coming from your teacher or a professional, don't worry about it. You know, because oftentimes people are commenting just to kind of make you feel bad, just to kind of give their 2 cents or ooh da 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 da. All social media commentary, I just kind of ignore. If it's not coming from, you know, again, your teacher, a coach, you know, somebody who is actually in the studio watching you live, I would just kind of go, okay, whatever. If you're going to post that kind of content, I'm really glad that when I was a lot of your ages, like early teens, you know, between 10 and 18, social media wasn't really a thing. So I didn't feel like I had to post anywhere because it just didn't exist. Nowadays, I post on YouTube and stuff, but I'm not posting on here to kind of brag. I'm just posting to help you guys or show you old performances and commentate or whatever. And I've been really lucky in that not a lot of people have been cruel to me. So I'm a bit fortunate in that I didn't have to worry about that, but for you guys, if you're gonna post that kind of stuff on social media, you have to be prepared to get some negative comments or any kinds of criticism. Luna, it's all right, baby. But take it with a grain of salt. It's not coming from your teacher. It's not coming from somebody who sees you in class every day. It could be little 18-year-old so-and-so who lives somewhere in the middle of nowhere who's just trying to be whatever. You know what I mean? And you also have to remember, on the other side, if you're on social media and you see someone do something amazing or you feel like you have to comment on something, remember everything that is posted now on some sort of digital platform can be edited. People can make themselves look thinner, prettier, you know, edit the video so it looks like they're doing 6 turns when they only did 3. You know what I mean? So remember that everything you see now posted is not necessarily truth. For example, when I edit my YouTube videos, I bump up the brightness, I bump up the saturation. You know, my shirt in real life is probably not as aqua as it looks right now, you know what I mean? On something like this, you can't really, you know, dot out blemishes. You know, YouTube videos are a little bit different than pictures, but know that everything online is probably edited. You know, if you see some chick wrapping her leg around her head, in a photo, did she alter that picture? I know professional photographers who have altered dancers' feet and altered dancers' arabesques. So remember that, you guys, it's not always truthful. So don't let that put you down and feel like, oh, I'll never get my leg that high. Might not actually be that high. She might have edited it. You know what I mean? But in terms of dealing with the criticism, if it's not from somebody who sees you daily, if it's not from somebody who you trust or even know, I would just ignore it. I am planning on applying for the SAB summer course next year, but because of various reasons, I don't think I will be able to attend the actual live audition. So I thought of sending a video. Do they take video auditions as seriously as they do with live ones? Great question. A lot of you have to send videos. I did a podcast episode on what to include for a DVD audition. I will link that below for you guys. I kind of go through specifically exactly what you should include. So that'll be in the box. But I think they do. They know full well that many people can't travel to auditions. And believe it or not, there are benefits to sending videos. I'm not saying you should not go to live auditions. You really should. But remember, if you have to send a video, remember you're going to be the only one they're looking at, you know, instead of in a room with 50 million people. So it can be a good thing. Just make sure, and this is something I stress in the podcast episode, that they can tell that it's live, kind of like just like the last question we were talking about, that everything can be edited now. Don't have too many cuts and splices. Don't make it look like you added an extra pirouette. You know, you did 3, but it looks like you're doing 6. You know what I mean? Make sure it looks live. Make sure it looks unedited, because otherwise they'll just toss it aside. So if you have a good quality DVD and you include enough stuff and it looks like you and it looks like it's true, then yes, they will consider it greatly. But if they think it's edited, if it doesn't look good, if it's really dark or something, they'll probably just be like, ugh, I can't watch this. So make sure it's good quality, make sure you have good lighting, but make sure it looks like you and that it's live and doesn't look too copied and pasted and put together. Can you help with fear of piqués on pointe? I tend to hold back due to the fear of losing my balance and falling. I don't know how to trust that I'm not going to slip and fall. Trusting on pointe. The key to pointe work is 90% mental. So the thing to do if you're in fear of a certain step, which I might have already talked about this at some point, probably, break it down. If you're afraid of piqué turns on pointe, just do step up to piqué. If you're scared of the step up to piqué, go up to pointe and just do your relevés. Because the stronger your feet are, the more confidence you're going to have. You know, if you feel like you are not strong in your pointe shoes, you're going to hold back. And the key to really successful pointe work is to push the arch and not be back on the shoe. So first of all, do all the strengthening exercises you can so you have the really strong ankles so you're not scared. But also break down steps. If you're worried about attitude pirouettes, for example, do relevé attitude. You know what I mean? Whatever the step is, back it down. And that should really, really help you. But yeah, know that pointe is 90% mental, but what helps with that is just the repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. The more it gets in your body, the more you're going to trust it and the more secure you're going to be. Also, a little thing, if you're having trouble getting over your shoes, check your shoe size. I know I sound like a broken record when I say that, and I say it all the time. Make sure your shoes fit you properly, because if they don't, like I said in the Pointe Shoes 101 video, they're going to pull you back. So make sure your pointe shoes fit you. Do your relevés, do your exercises. And break down certain steps if you have to. I am so glad you guys are enjoying the commentaries on here. I love them. They're some of my favorite videos too. And I'm hoping that they're insightful enough and yet funny enough and everything. Like I said, I will do as many ballets as I can. Some videos that I cannot show is because of choreography copyrights, not music copyrights. But again, I will try and do as many as I possibly can. Yeah, we can look forward to those. And they're kind of easy for me because I don't really have to film anything. I just sit there with headphones and go over the ballet. But yeah, Swan Lake will probably be next. Like I said a while back, Swan Lake, when I did Swan Lake, I was not at my best. I was not at my healthiest. I was sick as a dog at the time, not at my thinnest, but it's still pretty decent dancing, and I'm happy to take you through it. But yeah, it's not as crisp and happy as Sleeping Beauty, but it's important for me to show you guys, yeah, I didn't always look absolutely perfect, and even though I wasn't at my best in Swan Lake, I still want to show you, to say, look, we all have bad days. But anyway, that is going to be it for today. I know there's so many questions that I didn't get to, but I would just love to sit here and do nothing but answer your questions, but we'd be here from now until next Thursday, so that's not going to happen. I will probably do a live Q&A in the Facebook group again, in my ballet community Facebook group that I did a while back. So if I didn't get to your question, I might get to it there. I'll link that Facebook group below. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can join. It's free. It's just a very encouraging, happy place for dancers. And yeah, I will try and do a live ballet class here on YouTube. I'm still working on that, but I think that would be great for our first live stream here. Like I said, head over to the second channel for wedding stuff, for the bridal shower video. If you missed the video of me talking through the vision scene in Sleeping Beauty with commentary, it's right there. You can click it to watch. Love you all so, so much. Have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday.